So, hello and good evening, everybody. This is the monthly live stream of the study service of computer science at the University of Paderborn, at Paderborn University, and my name is Harald Selke, as you can read here. And we're doing these live streams each and every month, basically each and every month, a few exceptions, on the third Thursday each month normally, and for the master program. And there's a second live stream as well for the bachelor program, which is in German, and the bachelor program as well as the live stream are in German. And that always takes, or usually at least takes place on the first Thursday each month. This month, unfortunately, I was ill, so I couldn't send the live stream. But there will be the next live stream at the beginning of February. 1st of February will then be the next date when we have a bachelor live stream. So, but you're probably here for the master live stream, and this is exactly where we are right now. So what are we going to do here? Well, the study service at Paderborn University, study service of computer science at Paderborn University, is basically here for all of your questions concerning our study programs in computer science. That is the bachelor and the master program, and in particular tonight, of course, we're talking about the master program. And you can ask us any questions that you have, whether you are interested in coming to study here, or whether you have already studied here, or then probably you won't be here, but you might also ask some questions then, or if you are one of our current students, and we'll give lots of information. And in particular, I would of course like to answer your questions, because this is one of the good things about these live streams here. It's not just that me sending out some information, but you can also use this to ask your questions. So if anybody's out there right now, there are a couple of people out there, as I can see, so you can just say hello and say where you're from, for example, or say what you're interested in for tonight, what I should be talking about, because then there might be specific questions, or you might just have some very general questions and ask me to talk about whatever, and I will try to do my very best and do that. I have to tell you that I've still got a little bit of a problem with my voice, as you may probably hear, and so I'm having to drink something in between. But I'll have to see how long my voice will hold for tonight. So we'll probably make a shorter live stream than usual. Usually this will spend around an hour. Maybe we'll be a bit quicker today, because my voice might fail at some point. So let's have a good evening, and or good night, or good afternoon, or good morning, wherever you are in the world. And as I said, keep your questions coming, whatever there is, or if you just want to say hello, you can do that as well. And if there's any particular questions, or any very general questions, just ask them so I know what I can talk about. And as long as there aren't any questions, I will simply be babbling ahead and talk about things that I think might be interesting for someone out there. And so as long as nobody asks any questions, I would first of all like to address our current students, because the semester comes to an end almost now, the winter semester. Just for sake of clarity, for people who are not studying here in our master program, or not at all studying here at all at our university, the semester is the winter semester always is from 1st of October until 30th of March, but lectures aren't all the time. There's also gaps in between, the time where there are no lectures, but there will be lots of exams. And the time where the lectures are running is coming to a close now, so we'll have another 2 weeks now. From tomorrow 2 weeks, so on the 2nd of February, that should be, I think, that will be the last day of lectures, and after that the exams will start. So it's not holidays after that. You may of course go on vacation and things like that, but in general it's it's the exam time. And so there's some things coming up, and I would like to address those things. We've got a question here right now, a very quick one, which I cannot definitely answer because I'm for computer science, not for computer engineering. Those are, in fact, two different entities. So there are different people responsible for the computer engineering program. I'm responsible for the computer science program, but we always talk to each other. So I know that the applications basically have been reviewed already, and we know that there have been some delays for some strange reasons. I just talked to my colleague today who is responsible for reviewing the applications for the Master in Computer Engineering. And he showed me a very, very strange example because the Uni Assist, where you apply, you of course know that because you have already applied, but I'm telling this to other people as well who might not have yet applied. So when you apply to Uni Assist, they do some pre-processing of documents. They do lots of checks, like for example, whether your university is a real university, whether you have certain language requirements, whether you meet those language requirements, and all sorts of different things. And they do grade conversions and stuff like that. So they do quite a lot of work for us, and not just for our university, but for many, many universities in Germany. And that takes a little time. And just today, my colleague showed me a letter that has been sent from Uni Assist. Once Uni Assist completes their process, they send out notifications to the applicants and tell them, yeah, we are done. We have forwarded the documents to the universities, and so the university is now in charge of the next steps. And that document that my colleague showed me today was from September, so that students received a notification from Uni Assist in September that that Uni Assist was done with the application and that they have forwarded everything to us. But in fact, my colleague only received the application in the mid of December, so almost 3 months later. We have no idea why that was the case, because usually once Uni Assist is done with their process, which takes sometimes up to 4 weeks, but once they are done with it, we usually review every application within like 2 weeks. There may be exceptions, in particular for excuse me, in particular for the computer science program, because we have so many applications that we need to review. And of course, there's sometimes, I say, unfortunate times, so times where we need a little longer. And one of those times where we need a little longer is just now around the changing of the years, because as you might know, Germany is a country which is in the Christian tradition, so we have Christmas, and many of our people go on vacation over the Christmas time, over the Christmas holidays, and so usually from excuse me, from around 20th of December until sometimes 6th of January, basically nothing happens. So there's like 2 or 3 weeks where everything is very quiet in Germany. And so during that time, we also don't review any applications. So if your application has been forwarded to us immediately before Christmas, or maybe even only after Christmas, then it might still be in the queue. But excuse me, as I said, oh, sorry, I need to drink something. As I said, usually once we receive the documents, we will be reviewing everything within 2 weeks, and then usually the answer is being sent out. But that again, we don't send the letters of acceptance or of rejection. But that is another institution within our university. That's our international office, and the international office usually is very quick with that as well. But sometimes it takes a little time, or sometimes emails or notifications seem to get lost, because just 2 days ago, I received a similar request where someone said, well, what about my application? And I checked checked it, and I saw that we had already reviewed that application in mid of December, but for some reason the notification was not sent or got lost. So I would recommend, short answer right now. The short answer is I would recommend checking the website for our computer engineering program, and there's people listed there who are responsible for the computer engineering program, and send them an email and ask them what the time frame is, and they will probably answer you immediately, just like I did the other day. When I got that request, I could immediately tell that person, unfortunately, was rejected, he or she, I don't know, was rejected. The application was not accepted, and I could send them the answer just immediately. That's not the formal notification that you will still get from the international office, but at least you know how things are going and if there's anything to expect. So, as I said, I strongly recommend send the people from the computer engineering program an email, and please check their website. There you'll find the contact addresses, and then they will certainly answer you very, very soon. Okay. Yes, you are, hello, first of all, from India. You've received an admit for computer science, but according to Indian visa rules, current proof of language proficiency needed in German or English, depending on the, something missing in there, medium of instruction probably, and not necessary if the letter of admission confirms sufficient. The proof should not be older than 1 year, and my IELTS is older than 1 year. Oh, that's a difficult question. Can you please issue an admit letter which has written on it that I have sufficient English language proficiency? We probably can do that, but I can't. So please contact our international office. They are the people who can send out these things. So just Google International Office, University of Paderborn University, and there you'll find the people responsible, and the names is Mr. Muriganchuro is probably your best bet. I will show a slide in a couple of moments. I can do it right now. Just a second, please. I need to find the right slide here. There we go. Yep. So this is something I wanted to show later, but because we're talking about these things right now, I'll just insert them right here. So in case you have been accepted from us, so you got might have gotten already an informal email from us maybe, or maybe not yet, but there will be a formal letter or formal email from our international office with the official notification, where they certify that you have been accepted and everything is fine. And if there are any questions regarding the general process of getting visa or getting the APS and sending the APS, because you need this APS certificate, and all those things, or any questions related to getting to traveling to Germany or things like that, or questions regarding accommodation in Paderborn. All of those questions you should ideally send to the international office, because they are the experts in all of these questions. And there's the two people, Mr. Muriganchuro and Mr. Funayama Tortzen. Those are the two people who can basically answer all of your questions with that regard. And they are also have also the possibility to send official letters to you. So if there's anything that needs to be stated by us, that you have some kind of qualification or acceptance or something like that, they excuse me, they can send that to you. Also, if for some reason you have been accepted but don't want to start in April now, because in April will be the summer semester will start, and if you don't want to start in April but rather defer your start of studies until October, when the next winter semester starts, then you can do that as well. That's very simple. Just contact the international office and tell them that you would like to do that, and everything is fine. So you don't need to reapply or anything like that. That's absolutely not necessary. So yeah, as I said, please contact those people. They will definitely be able to answer your questions. Thank you. So you're already proficient in German, as I can see. Thank you very much. All right. Yeah, hope that helps. And yeah, as I said, in general, the general idea is basically if you have questions that are not specific to computer science, you best ask the international office because they really know what they're talking about. And I only know things about computer science. So whatever there is about the computer science program, that's something that I can tell you. And we'll talk about that in a moment. We can stick with that. I wanted to talk about some other things, as I said, for our current student, but I can do that at the end as well. So, yeah, no, not really necessary to do that right now. Sorry. So I'm assuming from the questions that we're having here tonight, I'm assuming that you probably have applied and might be accepted, or at least in one case it seems to be still open. But I can talk a little bit about the next steps now that we have. We've already seen on the slide that I just showed. I can show it again. On the slide that I just showed, these are the next steps. I talked about the top part. There's two more things I might mention here. One thing is we have a little video series. It is a little bit dated, but still there might be some interesting information in there here on our YouTube channel. It's called Study Abroad in Paderborn, and you'll get some information there. Maybe it's worth checking it out. Even as I said, it's a little dated, but yeah. Some of the information might still be useful, I think. And we also have on our websites information for first semester students. So I would suggest that's on the computer science department website. So I would suggest checking that out as well. And I hope you can find it because our websites are not very easy to navigate, I'm afraid. But if you're not able to find it, you should be able to contact us at least and ask us where things are. So if you want to start your studies for the summer semester, then you should be aware of the fact that about the semester times. I already said our current semester is coming to a close now, so we have 2 more weeks of lectures, and after that there will be the exams, and then that will go all through February and March. So there won't be exams all the time for everybody, of course, but they're spread out over that amount of time, and people can choose when to take which exams. At least there's always 2 exam dates. So if you have too many exams, or you want to go on vacation, for example, in early February, and you can't take part in an exam, you can still take part in the second exam for the course. That's no problem at all. So basically, February and March are reserved for exams. The summer semester then starts on the 1st of April. That's the technical date when the semester starts, and it runs from 1st of April until 30th of September. But again, the same as in the winter semester, the semester encompasses everything, not just the time when lectures are. And lectures will only start on 8th of April, so a week later than 1st of April, obviously. And you should definitely be here by that time. So if you're planning your travel to Germany now, if you have been accepted into our programs, and that goes for computer science, computer engineering, or any other program at our university or any other university in Germany, we all have basically the same semester start dates. But you should check with that university. If you're interested in going to another university, of course, check with them to make sure. But in general, and definitely here in Paderborn, 8th of April will be the first day of lectures, and you should be there by that time, because the first lectures are really important, because you'll get a good impression of the lecturer, of the lecture, what the contents of the lecture will be. You will learn about what the prerequisites are for the course. You will learn about what you will be learning in the course, what you need to do to take part in the exam in the end, and lots of organizational stuff and things like that. So it's very important to be here, to always take part in the first lecture of any course that you choose for any given semester, not just for your first semester here. Our courses will be in real life, so we don't have online courses. There might be lecturers who have lecture recordings or currently do lecture recordings, so or start lecture recordings again in April. But you need to check with the lecturer, and if they don't have current lecture recordings, then they might have some lecture recordings from the previous year or something like that, and maybe they are willing to give that to you if you say, well, sorry, I would like to take part in your course, but I can't be in Germany for some reason or in Paderborn for some reason. Then you can ask the lecturer if he has such a thing. And of course, it might be that the course is different than it was last year. We don't always do the same stuff in every year. So it might then be that you have old recordings, but you still need to keep up with the current lecture, of course. So just in case you can't take part for any reason, then contact the lecturer themselves. You can talk to all of our lecturers, even the professors. They're easy to talk to, so there's no need to be hesitant in contacting a professor. You can talk to them directly ideally via email, of course. It's the easiest way to get into contact with them. And when you're here, of course, you can also talk to them in person. That's possible, of course, as well. And it's perfectly normal, so there's no need to have any second guesses about those things. And yeah. So check with the lecturers if you can't be here. But as I said, ideally you should be here for the start of the lectures. And you should also keep in mind that I don't know the exact latest date when you can be here to effectively start studying in the summer semester, but that's way into the summer semester, like 6 weeks late or so. But if you really come 6 weeks late for the summer semester, then you'll almost certainly won't be able to pass any courses in that semester. So in that case, if you really can't be here by, say, the second week or at latest the third week of the semester, of the lectures in the semester, so by 20th of April, then you should prepare for not being able to complete any courses in this semester. And you might still want to come to Germany or to Paderborn anyways, because in that case you can already find your way around living in Germany, around living in Paderborn, get to know people, get to know the university campus, get to know the people in the university. It's perfectly fine, but don't expect to be able to take part in any courses. And you can go to the courses, of course, but don't expect to be able then to participate in the course in that way that you can pass the exam in the end. That will be very, very hard. The later you come, the harder it gets. So I would strongly recommend being here by at the latest by the 8th of April. Ideally, you are here already a week before that. As I said, 1st of April is the start of the semester, and on the 2nd of April, we start with a kind of preparation program, so to speak. We don't do any content, content in computer science specific content. But instead, we are having a welcome week or orientation days, orientation phase in those first days in the first week of April. Exact dates about everything will be sent out to you once you have been accepted. You'll need to wait a little for that because we haven't made the exact dates and rooms places where we will meet and everything. So all those things will be sent to you by the international office at some point in time. But just if you're planning now to come to Germany for the summer semester, try to plan in a way that you are here in Paderborn at the latest by the 1st of April, so that on the 2nd of April right in the morning, we'll start with the welcome week, that you can be there, can participate, and then we'll show you around. So there will be quite a program, lots of things that we're doing with you, like, for example, we'll give a welcome talk to you. The dean of our faculty will be there, or the head of our institute will be there and give you a welcome. We will present you information on how to put together your courses for the first week. We will show you around campus so that you know where to find what. You'll get to know other students, older students who have already been studying here in Germany for a while, and some German students and international students, and who can help you finding your way around not just the campus but also the university. So all of those support things will be done there, and also it's a very good opportunity to get to know the other people who also start together with you, so that you already know, well, there's other people around me who I might meet more often in the future, and maybe that also helps you to not be so alone when you're here, because for some of you, some of you might be used to it already, that living in a foreign country, because not everybody comes from their home country right now, but maybe has already lived in a different country for a while. But for some people, it's the first time being abroad, and of course, everything will be different in a different country. And like, for example, we just had one participant here from India, and of course, there's lots of differences between life in India and life in Germany. And yeah, there will almost certainly be points when you feel alone or disoriented and things like that. And all of those things we're trying to help you overcome those problems at the beginning, and that's why we're having this welcome week, so that you're not completely alone, but you know at least who to ask, and you'll meet us, for example, from the study service. It's not just me, there's a couple of colleagues of mine as well, so we're a small group of people here who are there to support you with any questions that you have. And as I said, basically the questions you have related to computer science, but even if you have other questions, you can come with those to us as well. But then I'll do something similar like I've done before in this presentation tonight, where I said, well, I can't answer that question, but I know who can answer your questions, and we can send you to the right people in that case if we can't give you a proper answer to any of your questions. So if in doubt, you can always contact us, and then we might just say, sorry, but we can't help you, but we know who can, and then we'll send you to the right people in that case. So this is something I would strongly recommend if you already know that you have been accepted. This is now, I guess, a good time to plan your trip to Germany. So ideally plan in a way that you will be here by 1st of April. In the meantime, I don't know what you're doing in the meantime at home while you're still there. Of course, you will be enjoying your last weeks at home, because then once you leave your home country, you'll probably not be returning that soon. But probably stay for a while in Germany. And so there's probably lots of things that you need to do, like, for example, if you have a flat, you might have to move out, or you have to say goodbye to lots of people probably that you won't be seeing for quite a while, even though internet and net-based communications make things easier to stay in contact with home, but still it's different talking to someone via these devices here. That's different than talking to someone in person and going with them together with them to some event, to a pub, to a party, or whatever. So this is obviously very, very different. But just in case that you have some time to spare and don't know what to do with your time, and are bored because there's nothing to do for you for some reason, which I can't imagine, but it might be. In that case, there's a couple of things you can do to prepare yourself for the start of your studies here in Germany. You don't need to have to work on specific things like learn some specific stuff, unless you already know that there might be some deficits. We'll talk about those in a moment as well. But a good idea is just to go to our website, and there you'll find a self-assessment. And the self-assessment is something, it's kind of like a little test. It's a PDF document that you can download. And it's just a test, and but it's not a test that you give to us, but it's really a self-assessment, so it's just there for you yourself. So you can take that for yourself. The answers are included, and so, but you shouldn't check them before you try to solve to answer the questions, of course. But what you can do is you can take this test and try for yourself. Do I know all of those things? And don't worry if you don't know all of those things. That's perfectly normal. But if you see, well, there's certain things, certain areas, there's a little structure in there with certain areas that are where there's always a group of questions concerning a specific area of topics. And if you find out, well, it seems to me that in this area I'm not really that good. I thought I might be better at that, and I find out that I can't really answer those questions. I don't really understand the question in the worst case, but I understood the question. But I thought I understood the question, but I somehow answered it wrong, because, as I said, the answers are included, so you can check your answer and then look critically, is that correct or isn't it? And if you decide, well, there's certain deficits in certain areas of computer science that you might discover in that test by taking that test, then it might be a good idea to check if if you can do something about that. Like, for example, typical example is theoretical computer science, where we're talking about things like decidability, computability, NP completeness, proving that problems are NP complete, for example. It's quite hard stuff. No, it's also for our students. It's not easy doing these things. And if, for example, you find out, oh, well, there's some deficits I might have, or if, for example, you think, well, there's certain things in maths where I'm not that as good as I thought I might be, because maybe you all had maths courses in your bachelor program, of course, but it might be some years ago, and so you might have gotten a little rusty in those things, and then that might be a good idea to maybe try to find good online resources or find a good book, because there's lots of textbooks available for these things, where you can try to brush up your knowledge in those areas, or discover new knowledge which you didn't have so far because you didn't do those things in your bachelor program. That would be my recommendation. If you have spare time, then yeah, just take this self-assessment. As I said, we won't see the results. We will never see those results that you take in those that you have in those self-assessments, because it's just a PDF file that you download and then you solve or answer the questions for yourself. And yeah, as I said, it's just for you to check. And of course, we're not checking what you should know after you have taken the master course, but it's those are all those questions that we have in that program are questions that we basically expect that most of them should be that any bachelor student should. Any student who has a bachelor in computer science should be able to answer most of those questions. As I said, not all of them necessarily. Everybody is different, so some people would have their strength in that area, some in that area, for example, but you should be able to answer most of those questions. And if you don't, as I said, you might try to find good literature, good books to make up for the deficits, or you might decide, well, that's all so strange to me. I thought things were totally different, which I hope they aren't. Would be a little bit of a surprise if you have a computer science bachelor and then you discover that you don't know that there's very, very large deficits there. That should not be the case. In that case, we should already have not accepted your application, hopefully, because that's something that we try to check before. That's one of the reasons why we do this complicated application process, because we check what you had in your bachelor program, and sometimes those things don't match up with what we expect our bachelor our students who are starting the master program, what we expect them to know. Yeah, okay, so that's one thing you can do. The other thing, and that's a very important thing as well, is we have discovered over the past years that in many countries, it seems that in the bachelor program, the people, lecturers don't really teach, and students accordingly can't really learn how to work scientifically. So read scientific papers, of course. That's the easier part in a way, and then write in a scientific way, because that's what we're doing here. We're doing science after all at the universities, and of course we don't expect you to be perfect at that. We have parts in our program, like you have to take part in a seminar, for example, and of course you have to write your master's thesis at the end. So we're helping you with these things as well. But it might be that in your program, in your bachelor program, you didn't really learn how to do these things. And then again, there's lots of online material available on how to do how to write scientific texts, for example, how to work scientifically, how to quote correctly, for example, because you always have to reference, you have to give not just a quote, but you have to give reference to other people's work, and that's a very important part of scientific practice. And if you don't do those things, then you are running into the risk of plagiarizing other sources, and that's one of the deadly sins in science. So that's really something very serious, and we take that very seriously. But we have also discovered that there's quite a few students who have never learned how to do these things. Because, for example, there's no bachelor thesis has been no bachelor thesis in your bachelor program. There are bachelor programs like that, and we still might have accepted you into our program anyways, because that's not a prerequisite with our program. The computer engineering program, I think, is different. I think they check if whether you have a bachelor thesis. But we also accept practical work, for example, as final projects or something like that. And in that case, you might not have had the opportunity to write a seminar paper, for example, or to write a bachelor thesis. And in those cases, you might not have learned how to write scientifically, how to do scientific practice. So that's very important as well. So if you think there might be things that you don't know about these aspects, then again, do good research on the internet, and you'll find lots of sources explaining what plagiarism is, how to avoid plagiarism, not how to plagiarize, hopefully, but how to avoid it. And so that's another recommendation I would have if you have time to spare until you leave your home country and come to Germany, or even if you have already come to Germany, are here, and if you have any time to spare, basically, you could do that. What is very important is that in a master program in particular, in Germany in general at universities, but in the master program in particular, we expect our students to organize themselves. So, as you will find out, our master program is a very, very open program. So there's very, very few required courses, mandatory courses. Most courses you can choose what you want to do. So you can do lots of different things, and basically at Paderborn, this is very specific to Paderborn University. Most other universities aren't that free in their master program as we are, because we decided that we expect our bachelor students, they already have a bachelor degree. You have a bachelor degree when you start your master here. And you might have specific interests. And we want to allow you to study according to your interests and we give you guidance if you ask us, but you have to come to us and ask us. We won't tell you, you have to do this, then you have to do that, and then you have to do that. We won't do that. So, but we're basically, it's like in a restaurant. We are giving, there's a huge menu, and you have to decide which meals from the menu you wish to order. And you're very, very free in that. There's a couple of things that you need to be aware of, but we won't talk about those tonight, because for the first semester there's nothing to worry about. It's very, very simple. Just pick courses. I will talk about picking courses in a moment as well. You don't have to worry about that at all right now. You can pick your courses once you are here in Germany. Once we're doing that together with you, if you wish, in the beginning of April during the welcome week. So there's no need to overthink things right now. But still, I will address the topic in a moment. And but basically, what this of course means when we say, well, you've got this menu of courses that you can take, then it's up to you to decide what you want to do. And on that level, you're very free in your program, and also on many other things. Like, for example, there's no requirement to visit the courses. You can decide to stay away from the courses and still want to take the exam in the end. That's perfectly fine. It's your responsibility to learn the stuff that you need to pass the exam. And we think that it's a good idea to come to the courses, take part in the courses, and we also give you assignments, weekly assignments usually. And some courses, the lecturers will say, yes, you need to have at least a certain amount of assignments correct. Only then will I allow you to take part in the exam. Or other lecturers might simply say, well, those are also just for your convenience, so you may take those. We still strongly recommend taking those assignments, doing those assignments. But even if you don't do any of them, you can still come to the exam in the end. And then it's your responsibility to be prepared, of course, in that case. And you should keep in mind that you can only repeat an exam 3 times. So again, that's your responsibility. If you say, well, I'm going there without having done any of the assignments because I think I'll manage that course anyways, then good luck with it. And if you fail that exam, then you can try that 2 times more. And after that you can't take that course anymore. Not everything is lost then. You have not finished your studies in that way. You can fail a couple of modules before you can't complete your master any longer. But still, of course, it's a good idea if you take an exam, you want to pass it, of course, obviously. Well, yeah. All right. So, as I said, you will have to organize yourself, and that means you decide whatever you do, basically. You're adult people, and we treat you like that. But that doesn't mean that we leave you alone. As I said, we are there to help you, we are supporting you, we are guiding you, and that goes for the lecturers in the specific courses, and that's also in general, like, for example, with the study service. That's what we are here for, among other things, of course. But again, we won't come running after you. So if, for example, a lecturer sees that you haven't been visiting the lecture for, like, you've been there, like, for example, like first 3 lectures or so, and then after that you disappear, then the lecturer won't come running after you and tell you, well, where are you? Why aren't you taking part in my course any longer? Instead, you have to come to us if you have any difficulties, like, for example, that you have been ill for some time and couldn't take part, or there was something very important that kept you from studying or so. And then you can come to the lecturer and talk to them, and maybe then they can give you some additional learning material or things like that and help you. So always just be upfront with any problems that you have. You don't have to to think that we will think badly about you if you have a question. That is perfectly normal. Our university system is designed in that way. We expect people to come with their problems to us and ask us. If it's a problem with a specific course, usually you will talk to the lecturer or the teaching assistant from that course, for example. If it's a general question about computer science, you'll come to the study service. Or if it's a general question about, like, visa or something like that, for example, or accommodation, then you'll go to the international office. But there's lots of people there who will be able to help you. And it's always a good idea, if there are any problems, address them early. Don't wait for too long, because problems don't tend to disappear, but tend to grow with time. And the later you try to address any problems, the harder it usually will be to overcome. And so often something that seems like a big problem, if you just ask us early enough, then maybe it's totally easy and very, very simple, and we're getting rid of the problem in 2 minutes, and everything is fine as well. And you ask yourself, why did I think so much about this problem at all? Yeah, so talk to us. One question is calculus a part of any mathematically related subjects in the course? No, it's not. We expect you to be to have a good knowledge in calculus. This is something we also checked when you applied, because you send us your transcript when you apply, and then we check what courses are in there, and usually there's quite a few mathematics courses, and of course we don't check everything in detail, so we simply can't do that. We can't check if you have any specific knowledge in like, for example, Taylor polynomials or something like that. So we can't check those things in detail, but we expect that you have a good basic knowledge of calculus, and that then on that basis you will be able, if there is anything needed from calculus in a specific course, that either the lecturer knows that this is some hard stuff that many of the students might not know, and then he will introduce the topic himself again, or herself again, and we'll talk about those things. Always on the base, assuming that there is a basic knowledge of calculus, of course, there. But it might also be that he says, well, that's something, he or she says, well, that's something that I think every bachelor student should be familiar with, and in that case, he will probably just expect you to, and there we are again with it's your responsibility to do lots of things, to be active, and then in that case, if you find out that, oh, there's something that the lecturer mentioned and I don't really understand that, then you need to find a way to get up to the task. So you might talk to fellow students, for example. Oh, I didn't understand that. Or did you understand? And maybe the other person didn't understand as well. And then you're at least two, which makes a better feeling than if it's just you, of course. But that ultimately doesn't solve the problem. But maybe you find someone who can tell you, yeah, well, that's quite simple, and then they explain it to you. Or you might, of course, also talk to the lecturer or to a teaching assistant and say, well, you mentioned this in the course, and this is something that we didn't really do in our bachelor program, so could you recommend me something where I can read about this? And then the lecturer will probably tell you, well, there's a good book, and in that book, or there's an online resource where you can read these things, or there's, as I said, there's a good book. And of course you don't need to buy those books, because we have a large library, and in the library we have plenty of books there, and you should be able to find any good textbooks on these, especially on basic stuff, by which I don't mean simple stuff, but basic in the sense that it's in the bachelor program, usually in the first, in Germany at least, in the first 2 semesters of the bachelor program. So in that sense, basic stuff, you usually find lots of material about the textbooks for those kinds of contents in our library. So that shouldn't be a problem. But then again, it's your responsibility, and you need to be aware of the fact that, oh, there is something that I don't really understand, that I'm not, or where I'm not certain whether I understood it correctly. And then, as I said, you can talk to the people, teaching assistant, lecturer, fellow students. Don't come to us, please, to the study service. We might be able to answer those questions as well, but that's really not our task in that case. So anything course-specific stays in the course usually, or, as I said, you need to find some good source to find a way to compensate for any problems that you might encounter. That is very important here. How many compulsory mathematics subjects would we need to complete? None at all. We don't have any mathematics subjects, well, strictly speaking, not any mathematics subjects in our master program. So, for example, we have courses for example, in data science. But those data science courses, they expect you to know quite a bit of mathematics, and you should have learned all those basic things in your bachelor program, because there you had calculus, had linear algebra, for example, and you probably also had statistics and probabilities and things like that. And anything that goes beyond those basic things will be taught to you in those specific courses. So if there is a data science course that expects you to know certain things that are not part of the bachelor program, of our bachelor program, I should say, but your bachelor program should be somewhat similar. In that case, the lecturer will introduce that mathematical stuff in the data science course itself. So there's no separate mathematics course, but that it might be that the lecturer of the data science course says, well, there's something we need to be aware of from mathematics, and those are things you might not have had in your bachelor program. And that's why I'm now doing a 90-minute session, for example, on certain aspects of mathematics, which are just the specific things that are needed for this specific course in that case. So you just learn those things, those special things you don't learn in a separate mathematics course, but you would learn those things as part of the course where you need that stuff. So to make sure that you really learn that stuff that you really need for that specific course. So not only no compulsory mathematics subjects, but no compulsory subjects at all. No normal courses. You need to take certain forms of courses, like a seminar and a project group, for example, and you need to write a master's thesis. But the normal courses, there are no compulsory subjects at all. So you're really absolutely free. So if you say, well, mathematics and that data science stuff, and also that's machine learning stuff. Machine learning, again, lots of mathematics needed there, of course. And if you are taking part in, and if you say, well, mathematics is not my strong feature, then in that case you might decide not to go into intelligence and data or data science courses. You might try them, of course. Maybe it's easier than you thought. But then you might decide to go into another field, like, for example, IT security or software engineering or whatever. So if you're hearing music now in the background, I hope we won't get blocked, because there's an event going on in this building here, and music just gets into my office right now. So I don't know if you can hear any of that. But if you can, just enjoy it. So we now have music together with me babbling along here. Great. You're welcome. Bitte sehr. To stick with the German language here. Right. Yeah, there's one thing I mentioned before. If you plan to come for the summer semester, you might already have some. Might be thinking, what am I to expect when things start? What kinds of courses do they offer? And I think the last question, if there are any compulsory mathematics subjects, for example, also already shows there's an interest in the question, what kinds of courses are there? What do you offer? And the easy way to find out is just check our course catalog. It's not yet public, but it will be in due time. So 2 weeks from now or something like that. And then you can check you can already check the course catalog, of course, but not the course catalog for the next summer semester. But you could, for example, check the course catalog for this winter semester and see what has been offered in this winter semester. Those courses won't be offered again in the summer semester in general, but the same courses might be offered in the next winter semester. So that gives you a good idea what courses there are. You might also take a look at the last summer semester, and then you'll get a good idea of courses that will be offered in the next summer semester, though there will be quite a lot of new courses, because that's the good news for everybody starting right now. We have a host of new lecturers. So I think there's at least since the beginning of the winter semester, so since October and until April, I think there will be at least 5 new lecturers, and that means at least 5 new courses in the master program as well. So there will be lots of new things coming up. So it will be worthwhile checking out what is happening. I will talk about those things here in these live streams as well, but not tonight. Okay, so you can check the course catalog from the last summer semester, for example, or as I said, you can check it as soon as the course catalog for the next summer semester is online. As I said, 2 weeks from now, about 2 weeks from now, and then you can check there as well, and then you can see what courses are there. So will be offered in the summer semester. You don't need to worry about any of this. So if you say, well, I'm not sure what all of this is about, no problems at all. You you can come here on the 2nd of April in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning or something like that probably. You can just show up here and say, well, I don't have any idea what all of this is about, please tell me, and we'll do. So there's no need to worry about any of these things right now. This is just for people who think, wow, well, I'm anxious to know what's coming up, what will happen in the summer semester or in general in my study program. There's another way, by the way, to find out what courses we have, and that's you can check the module handbook that's on our website, the study service website, which is linked right below this video here. You can click there, and then you'll also find something which is called the module handbook. And the module handbook describes all of our courses. Pick the one for the master program, obviously, and it describes all of the modules that we have in the master program in quite a bit of detail, so that you get a good idea what will be happening in that course and what the exam will look like. Not exactly what the exam will look like, but what type of exam it will be. Will it be an oral exam? Will it be a written exam, for example? Are there any prerequisites for the course? Usually there are none. Are there any prerequisites for taking part in the exam? And there sometimes are. And all of that information is in the module handbook. But as I said, you don't need to worry about any of those things now. We'll get that once you are here. So no problem there. So the listing you'll find in the once it is online in the course catalog. The course catalog is also listed below this. It's called paul.unipaderborn.de or paul.upb.de. Paul is our course catalog system, and you do all your registrations for exams and everything. You'll do that with Paul, so you'll have lots of opportunity to talk to Paul. And once that listing is public, then it's not everything will be exactly like that, but it's 99% complete, I would say 98% complete. So minor changes may still happen, but in general, everything will be as listed there. As I said, there's no need to finalize your planning for the first semester. There will be plenty of information in this welcome week, in the orientation days, so no need to worry about those things right now. This is just if you are curious what might come, what lies ahead. That's just for this purpose. And in that case, my recommendation, would be, once you visit that course catalog, then you'll see, and you saw there's this long list there: Faculty of Computer Science, Electrical Engineering, Mathematics. Then you need to go into Computer Science, which is our institute, then into Computer Science Studies, which is the program, our study program that we have, and then Master Studies, because you're in the master program and not in the bachelor program, obviously. Unfortunately, I can't give you a direct link there because this Paul system doesn't allow that. So you need to click through all those things, click and click and click and click. And once you're there, then you'll find a number of entries. And there will be 7 entries, which have headlines like, for example, algorithms and complexity and data science and intelligence and data and things like that. Those are what we call the focus areas. And in those focus areas, we have grouped all the lectures that belong somewhat together. You don't need to worry about those things as well. The only thing which is important is in those 7 entries, you will find all of the normal courses, and those are the courses that you might want to take. You will find other entries there, which is seminars and project groups, and you can't take seminars and project groups in the first semester. We'll talk about seminars and project groups once you are here in the welcome week. We'll talk about those things then. It's no need to talk about those things right now. And when you look through that list, you will find that some courses are listed in more than one focus area. That's perfectly normal. And you can go through those documents, through these listings, and then just try to find out if there's anything course that sounds interesting to you. And then maybe the title grabs your attention and you say, well, that sounds like an interesting course. I might want to take that. And maybe you have a couple of those, like any number of those. And then you might do certain things. Like, for example, you could check in the module handbook, what is the content of that course? And you read the module description or the course description. And once you do that and you say, well, that course did sound interesting from the title, but now that I read the course description, it sounds pretty boring or not my cup of tea, I don't take that course. Or it sounds fantastic, and you say, well, that's exactly what I wanted to do. And then you'll pick that course, you'll keep that course in mind. So just you can kind of make a first choice. And as I said, there's no need to choose anything now. You can't register anyways because you're not part of the, you're not yet studying here. But you could simply say, well, those are the courses that sound interesting to me. And ideally, in the end, you should, when the semester starts, so in April, not before that, you should pick 5 courses. We don't recommend taking more courses. You can take 6 or 7 for the first week, for example, and go there, and then after a week decide, well, those are the 5 courses I'm going to stick with. But you should not take more courses than that for much longer, because it's just too much work. And maybe times also overlap, because we have more courses than we have hours in the week available. So you need to choose. And the recommendation is to pick 5 courses. You don't have to, it might happen that you can't complete all of those courses, but we won't talk about those things today. That's also another topic for the welcome week. Because once you start studying, 5 courses, 30 credits, each course is 6 credits, 5 courses, each 6 credits makes 30 credits in total. That's the recommended workload, but that workload might be too high for you because maybe you will be doing other things. Like, for example, you might want to take language courses. You're not required to. We had that requirement, but we don't have it anymore, so you don't have to take language courses when you're here. We still recommend doing that because maybe you want to get a job sometime while you're studying here, or maybe you intend to stay even after you have studied here in Germany. And in all those cases, it's very useful to have at least the basic knowledge of the German language. So it might be useful to you, or even an improved knowledge, of course. You might want to take German language courses. Then, of course, there's the difficulties of getting used to living in a different country. Germany is different from your home country, most probably, at least, depending on where you come from. But in most cases, living in Germany will be very different from your home country. You need to find your way around. Everything is different. Everything is strange. You don't find your favorite food, for example, because food in Germany is different than it is in many other countries. Not in every other country, but in many other countries. So, and the way on how to find your way around supermarkets and everything is different. So you need to get used to that, and you need to get used to. You need to find make new contacts, find new friends, new other people who you are studying with, or who you just can talk to, or go to the movies or whatever. You also need to get used to the German university system. Things are different at this university, most certainly, than they have been at your university where you have studied in your bachelor program. All of those things take away health points from you. So basically meaning all those things will be exhausting. And the more you feel exhausted, of course, the less you will be able to really complete all of those courses that you might want to take in the first place. But again, that's no problem at all. That's perfectly normal. It might then be that you won't be able, probably you won't be able to complete your studies in 2 years, which is the regular schedule that we recommend, but we won't throw you out after 2 years. So if it takes you longer for your studies, then so be it. And you can do lots of things, as I said, while studying. And so, yeah, you need to, but we'll talk about all of those things during the Welcome Week. Recommendation, as I said, 5 courses. So if you are already interested in finding out what comes up in the next summer semester, then you might check the course catalog and see if there are 5 courses that, or more, even more courses that sound interesting to you. And then you can just put that aside. Maybe you can also check if there's a self-assessment for that specific course, for example. For some of our courses, unfortunately not for too many, we have self-assessments again, just for you, for yourself. And if you find out, well, that lecturer expects certain things that I don't know, then you can either, again, try to find a way to get that knowledge that you need for that course, or you drop that course or you have taken it, so you don't need to drop it, so you choose another course instead. That's also possible, of course. So what we have right now is we have 7 focus areas, and then saying this on this slide, I will only mention this very briefly, because things will change very much here from the winter semester onwards. From the winter semester onwards, you can still stick in this with this structure, but I wouldn't recommend doing it. There's really no reason to stick in this program, but there will be a new revision of the program, and the new revision will have quite a few advantages, I think. So we would probably recommend that you switch to the new regulations in October, and then things will be a little different. We will only have 5 focus areas then. That doesn't mean that any courses will be dropped, but it means that the courses will be reassigned. Like, for example, data science and intelligence and data will be joined into one focus area, and computer science and networks, computer systems and networks and communication will also be joined into one. And the others, algorithm design, will have a new name. Security and software engineering will remain as they are. And if you took any courses, of course, so those courses aren't lost, but those will be transferred to the new regulations, of course. And we won't talk about this, the stuff here on the right-hand side of this slide, because those things will also change, and they won't be harder for you, but things will be easier for you. So I won't talk about those things right now, even though they are technically still relevant for you, because you'll be starting in the old system, so to speak. But as I said, I would recommend switching to the new system once it's installed, and that will be in October. And then we'll talk about those things. There will be information events during the summer semester where we'll talk about all of those things and the consequences of everything. And as I said, I guess I would strongly recommend switching to the new regulations, and then we don't need to talk about these things. And for those few people who stay in the old regulations for whatever reason, with those people I can talk about these things then separately. But in general, as I said, we have certain focus areas, and within each of those focus areas, those are the 7 entries I talked about in the PAUL system, in our course catalog. Those are the 7 entries, and that's where the courses are located. So check if you are curious what will be happening in the summer semester. You can check out those courses, and otherwise you just simply don't do it, and enjoy your time at home while you're not yet in Germany, and then just come here, and we'll organize everything during the Welcome Week. As I said, no need to plan too much ahead right now, and everything will be sorted out in the Welcome Week. We will help you with all of those things. You can always come to us with any questions, as I said, and there's lots of links, information links below this video if you want to check out other things. And as I said, questions, study service is the link below here, where you find our email address, and you can send requests there, and we'll answer them as soon as possible. We have a little backlog right now, again, because we had the Christmas holidays, and After that, I was ill for a week, so that's why we have a little backlog there, but we're working on that and try to answer all of those questions that have been sent to us over the last 3 weeks now. Yeah, as I said, you can send an email there, and of course you're welcome to come to the next live stream here again, because there will be a next live stream, and that will be in probably 4 weeks from now. Just need to check the exact date. That will be on, yes, the 15th of February. It will be the next live stream for the master program. And as I said, of course, there will be the live stream for the bachelor program on the 1st of February. That will be in German, so probably not for the people watching right now, but I still want to mention it. 1st of February, the next live stream for the bachelor program in German. 15th of February, master program in English. And so by that time, you can, again, ask any of your questions. That will, in fact, be the last opportunity before the summer semester starts, because although I said that we are doing this every month, that was not true, because we're always taking a break in March and in September. So in March and September, there will be no live streams. So that means that on the 15th of February, that will be the last live stream before the summer semester starts. Of course, in the summer semester, there will be new live streams. But those of you who have been accepted into our program will hopefully already be here by then. And in that case, we will have met already during the first week of April for the welcome week. I will be there as well, most probably at least. Or if I'm not there, then one of the colleagues of mine from the study service will be there. But someone from us will be there, but most probably I will be there. And so in that we will meet in person in that case. And yeah, as I said, 15th of February in online here, and then in the first week of April we might meet in person. And for everyone else out there who has not yet applied or has not yet been accepted, but or plans to apply for the winter semester or whatever, for those people, you're absolutely welcome to visit us in any of the future live streams. Back in April, we will start again. At that point in time, we will have moved to European summer time. So in that case, we'll stick with the 6 o'clock according to German time, but then it will be 6 o'clock Central European summer time, which means GMT +2. Well, right now, this month and next month, we will be in GMT +1. So just keep that in mind for if you want to tune in next time. Or next time, as I said, will be the same time, but if you plan to tune in April. But of course, those dates will always be announced here on the YouTube channel, as well as on our website. We always announce for the upcoming month. We'll announce the live streams there, and we'll always announce the next live stream here on YouTube. So right now, once we are done here, I will announce the next live stream for the bachelor program, and once the next bachelor program live stream has been completed, I will announce the next master program live stream. So if you just subscribe to this channel and hit that old notification bell there, and then you will get notified, hopefully at least, if everything at YouTube works as it should work. And then you'll find out when our next live streams will be. Just be prepared that in March there will be no live stream. Still, you can send us your questions via email, of course. That's no problem at all. Of course, you can send emails there at any time. And because we are a team of people who are working on this, it's not just me, the study service, we're a team of people. And so there will even if someone from us is on vacation, then usually someone else will not be on vacation, with the exception of Christmas time, of course, because Christmas time is when everybody is on vacation, at least here in Germany, or almost everybody, I should say. Okay, so that's it for tonight. The voice was not as bad as I feared it would be, so I managed, again, more than an hour of time. But now I think we should call it a day or a night or whatever. And yeah. As I said, you're welcome to join us in our next live stream or send us emails if there's any specific questions. And if there's questions not related to computer science, as I said, please contact the international office, or if in doubt, contact us and we will tell you who to contact. And we'll manage all of those things. So that's it for tonight. I'll see you either in the next live stream, or rather you can see me in the next live stream, because I can't see you. I can't only see your names here and your comments, but that's better than nothing, I think. But you might see me in the next live stream, or I might see you in April when the summer semester starts and when we can give you a welcome to our university and when you will hopefully start studying here. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and see you sometime soon. Bye-bye.